Welcome to Get Your FRQ On. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you about the math key on the graphing calculator. Specifically, once I click on the math key, I'm interested in the number menu in this video. So I'm going to use my right arrow, click over to number, and I want to go through what these first 9 do. The ones after this are a little bit more specific, not quite as important. But some of the main ones you would use, the first one under number is just going to return the absolute value of a number. The second one is kind of interesting. Let's say you want to round a specific value that you get. You can round the number. And like with most of the functions on at least a TI-84, if you're on a function you're not really quite sure what the syntax is, click on the plus and it will show you. In order to use the round function, I'm going to enter a value, and then if I want to, a comma with a specified number of decimal places. So I know on the AP exams, they generally expect you to round to 3 decimal places. And so maybe you do this just to make sure you round it correctly on a calculator active question. Please don't do this on a not calculator active question, since that would be considered cheating. But it can round to any specified number of decimal places. IPart, if I've got a decimal, I can plug in a number into that function IPart, and that function will return only the integer part. Likewise, FPart will return only the fraction or decimal part. I think 3 and 5 are very similar. I haven't really been able to tell how different those two are. They seem to behave very similarly, if not identically. So 5 and 3 might be pretty much the same thing. 6, the minimum key, or the minimum function, allows you to enter in a list of values, and it will return the minimum value in that list. Now, this doesn't seem like a big deal, like you should be able to look at numbers and tell which one is smaller, but you're not limited to just entering numbers. You can enter something like, well, tell me the minimum of y1 at 3 and y1 at 5, and whichever one is the smallest one, it will return that. Max behaves the same way, only this time it will find the maximum. 8, you can find the lowest common multiple of 2 numbers, or 9, the greatest common divisor of 2 numbers. One thing about 8 and 9, they do only work on 2 numbers at a time. Now, you can, there's a way mathematically to find the lowest common multiple of 3 numbers, or the greatest common divisor of 3 numbers, but this function won't do it unless maybe you have to nest. But we're not going to get into nesting arguments here. So if I click on LCM, it does only allow 2 values. I did try it with 3 values and it gave me an error, so I know it doesn't work if you use 3 different values. But there's a lot of really helpful mathematical features and menu options in that math menu under the number menu. Just some things to be aware of that might save you a lot of time later.